Growing up, I've always loved dinosaurs, from the uniquely shaped heads of ceratopsians to the heavily armored tails of big Brontosaurus. But within all, there's always been one group of dinosaurs that I just couldn't lay my eyes off. The Sauropods. They were giants amongst the giants and changed our perspective on how big life truly could get on land. So today, I thought it'd be fun to make a ranking video of my favorite dinosaur group in one of my favorite dinosaur games. Welcome to ranking sauropods in Jurassic World Evolution 2. Coming in last place, we have the Amargasaurus. The Amargasaurus is here on the list because when it comes to sauropods, I like them. And of course, the Amargasaurus is a really small sauropod. However, this doesn't mean I dislike them or never use them. Some of my favorite enclosures I've built were centered around the Amargasaurus, like constructing small enclosures to connect two different parts of the park with, or a walk-in petting zoo, where the Amargasaurus reminds me of the baby Apatosaurus from the first Jurassic World movie. When it comes to dinosaurs in general in this game, I absolutely love the Amargasaurus, and have them in almost every single park I make, but on a list of only sauropods, they're gonna have to go on the bottom. Ever since I decided to use the original Dreadnoughtus in one of my parks, I realized just how much I didn't hate it. When I first saw the model, I thought it looked weird and just not my type of sauropod. But over time, I've come to actually like them quite a bit. I still prefer the variant version, but this one isn't too bad itself, but it's still probably my least used sauropod in the game. For whatever reason, I didn't feel the same need to buy all the packs in Jurassic World Evolution 2 as I did for the first one, so I actually never got to use Allosaurus, which is such a shame because a huge factor on how much I like a dinosaur or creature in Jurassic World Evolution 2 is really based off the paddocks I can build for them, and I never got to do that with the Allosaurus. So I just hope that Allosaurus will be added in JV3 so I can include them in my parks. The Mamenchisaurus is probably my most underutilized sauropod. I really like how tall they are and bringing a new sense of scale to the game. My favorite enclosure to build for them is a redwood style enclosure. I think it's just a perfect enclosure to build for them since redwood trees are so tall and the Mamenchisaurus is also so tall. I also really like, for some reason, putting like the monorail tracks in the Mamenchisauropod 2. I think it just looks really cool with like everything like so high and elevated. I think it just really fits well with them, and yeah, I just actually I recently just used Mamenchisaurus in a build, and it really made me realize how much I've been missing out by not using Mamenchisaurus. So now I just want to build more Mamenchisaurus enclosures in my park. So yeah, I really like the Mamenchisaurus actually. I didn't think I would like them that much, or actually did like them that much. So yeah. Here's where the ranking started to get hard, because I absolutely love the Diplodocus. Ever since walking with dinosaurs, I've always found myself so mesmerized by the Diplodocus. I always just remember how big they looked, and just how much fun I had watching that episode of Walking with Dinosaurs. It is a pivotal moment in my dinosaur liking career or something. One episode, I think it's called Titans. It's like Titans something. But the one with Diplodocus, you know which I'm talking about from Walking with Dinosaurs. I absolutely love that episode, and it made me really fall in love with Diplodocus, and maybe that's a weird way to say it. It just made me really like Diplodocus. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love Diplodocus in general in Jurassic World Evolution 2. The thing is, I just think there are just better sauropods in the game, and sauropods I'd rather use over the Diplodocus. But I don't know, I still really like the Diplodocus. So yeah, I think it just shows how much I really like sauropods. So yeah. What I really like about the Camarasaurus is how it's a medium sauropod, but stands up in a vertical position like a Brachiosaurus. It makes him literally stand out and so unique in my eyes. I always find myself making a sort of dry or savanna type enclosure for them, which have always been some of my favorite enclosures to make. Also, I just love making them green, reminding me of Jurassic Park Operating Genesis, and if it weren't for that game and this one, I wouldn't like the Camarasaurus as much as I do. So thank you, Operation and Evolution. I don't own the Ankylodocus, so why is it so high? That's because, as you know, my favorite group of dinosaurs are sauropods, but my favorite specific dinosaur is Ankylosaurus. So Ankylodocus is basically my favorite dinosaurs combined into one. Not to mention the glow up it had from the first game to this. I think they're absolutely adorable and a great placeholder for a sauropod we don't have in the game yet, like Shunnosaurus, the other one's a giant whale. I really wish I got to use them, as I know if I had, I would have them in literally every part I built. I love the Apatosaurs. Some people say it's designed as basic, but that's what I love about them. They're that original, classic, and iconic design you see from sauropods, that long neck, big body, and long tail. To me, that's one of the most iconic looks a dinosaur can get. The Apatosaurus just brings this sense of awe and childlike wonder to me every time I see it. It gives me this feeling that it's hard to describe, but makes me remember why I like dinosaurs. I love trying to remake the Great Valley every time I make an Apatosaurus enclosure, and seeing this roam about a green and lush environment. They're also my favorite dinosaurs to see walk around herds. It really just reminds me of the magic of dinosaurs. The Apatosaurus is just such a classic dinosaur that I can't help but love them. Speaking of classic, we have the Brachiosaurus. Whenever I have a Brachiosaurus in the park, I feel like I just gotta build a really amazing and grand enclosure for them. They just have this presence and legacy that it would feel wrong to build anything than a grand, big main attraction enclosure for them that's bigger than life just so they can fit in your parks. I also usually don't watch hatchery exit animations, but I always find myself making an exception for the Brachie. They're such an amazing dinosaur that I just can't help be amazed every time I see them come out of the hatchery. I just can't help but be amazed every time I see them. They remind me of the first time I ever saw a dinosaur. I like my sauropods, but I really like the Nigrosaurus. I think their design is really nice. It reminds me a little about Littlefoot, and they have that classic sauropod look. They also give off this sort of lazy and almost hippo-like behavior, as long as you don't get too close to them. But the reason why I like them so much is because every time I make a Nigrosaurus enclosure, I try to recreate the baby Diplos running through the dense foliage from Walking with Dinosaurs. I didn't even know about the Nigrosaurus before Jurassic World Evolution 1, and I definitely wasn't expecting to like them so much. But here we are, and they're one of my favorite dinosaurs in the game. Dinosaur skins isn't really something I take in consideration, because I always find myself using the same ones over and over again anyway, but basically every pattern the Brachiosaurus variant has is just so amazing and beautiful, along with the same wonder the original Brachiosaurus has. I also don't mind the head crest of the Brachiosaurus anymore. It did take me some time to get used to it, as at first I didn't really like it, but now I've actually just come around to, liking it, so yeah, I like the Brachiosaurus variant. Every time I say or think about sauropods, my first thoughts are the Argentinosaurus from Walking with Titans, and just how massive they looked. And the Dreadnoughts just reminds me of them so much. I love how big and earth or screen shaking they are. They're exactly why I love sauropods. They're these colossal animals who just roam the earth. There's no other word to describe them to me than just perfect. The Dreadnoughts variant just brings so much joy to me every time I use them and have them in parks that I just can't help but be amazed by them. It's what the word sauropod means to me. No matter where any sauropod is listed, I love them all, and I think I always will. And I can't wait for new sauropods to be added in Jurassic World Evolution 3. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and tell me about your list in the comments below, and what are some of your favorite sauropods in Jurassic World Evolution 2, or which ones do you want to be added in Jurassic World Evolution 2? I know I really want Argentinosaurus to be added to the game, but anyway, with that being said, have a nice day, be kind, like and subway, and bye-bye.